Hi, my name is Fabian Westerheide and I am an entrepreneur and investor with a passion for artificial intelligence. Today I would like to talk about the question, will there be an AI winter and will be the hype for artificial intelligence be over soon? So first let's think about a second, what is an AI winter? So an AI winter is called a period when funding for research, startups and so forth in the space of AI is going down and instead of going up. And we had this before. We had this in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Almost every decade this happens. And it happens mainly when the expectations are higher than the reality. So at the beginning, everyone hears about a new technology and thinks, oh, they solve everything, we use this, a lot of money is going in. And then when you build the real products, the market finds out that it is way more tricky and challenging and they can't really solve the problems they thought. So therefore, less money is flowing in and the market is crashing, kind of. So what is the current trend? The current trend is a little bit of a renaissance of the technologies of the 80s. So we speak about LSTMs, deep learning in various forms for RNNs, GINs, CNNs and so forth. So they were invented in the 80s and 90s, and now since 2012 we have a whole new, not hype, but trend around it. First, because we have an abundance of data. Finally, we have so much data due to internet, IoT, mobile phones and so forth. We can finally use this data to train our models. Second is computing power increased significantly. So we all know Moore's law, supercomputers. I mean, your smartphone you're currently using to watch this, or a computer, is millions times more powerful than only 20 years ago. So this fueled the whole trend, and in 2012 it shifted and deep learning became a new trend in AI and therefore a lot of others. So let's look at the different segments: research, companies, startups, government, and I want to give an outlook for the next 10 years. So on research, yes, I have the feeling that we're in a dawn. So not maybe AI winter, yeah, but it's getting colder. So if you speak with researchers, what they feel is like last 2 years was a boom. A lot of requests, a lot of funding, a lot of companies wanted to work with them. But then the companies figured out, well, your research results are really hard to apply. And this is way more tricky and complicated, and there is no off-the-shelf AI. You can't buy a ready AI and then deploy it. It's a little more tricky. You need training, data, models, and people to do it. So in research, we feel that expectations are getting less, and therefore the interest is getting less. And I also personally have the feeling we have less breakthrough. As I said, we have a renaissance of the technologies of the 80s, and the amount of papers I'm reading is less. All I read are incremental improvements, but nothing really new is coming to the market. So I say in research it will be more heavy, it will be more tricky to have breakthroughs in the next couple of years. I have hope for it, but this is what I feel. Then we speak about companies. Well, just to deploy easily AI won't work. However, a lot of companies have AI now on the agenda. They want to do it. I recently read that 70% of companies highly consider AI, 30% already have trials and prototypes. So it is there, and companies need a couple of years for the budgets to start it. They're moving a little bit slower than we can read research results. So my personal view is that we only have 1% of the market. There are so many problems we can solve just with the state of the AI we have today, just with technologies we already have, just deploy the right tools and problems, and we have still 99% of problems to be fixed with AI. So there's plenty to do. There's no reason to fear an AI winter. And also startups. We see a lot of funding, especially in the United States and in China, is going into AI. So yes, China and US, we will see a cool down. I don't know when, maybe next year, next 5 years, because the more money is in, the more losses you have. Also, some companies will go bust, some bigger one will go bust. So this will diminish the expectations and the returns. But on the other hand, look at Europe, look at Latin America, look at Southeast Asia, Africa, nothing yet. Like very, very small funding, great teams, smart people. So I personally believe that the shift for AI companies to fund will shift from China, USA, more to those countries, especially Europe, where we have all the talents, the data, the companies, but we don't have the funding yet. And then we have the main driver, which is government. And we should not underestimate government. So China, everything is driven by government. They put billions of money into it. They provide researchers. They tell companies like Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, in what areas they have to research and what they have to specialize on. They support a lot of large funding rounds and startups. They promote local governments to build hubs. They promote or they support universities to research more, but also to create thousands of new positions. So China has mainly driven this, and we know with China, they don't play with the rules we normally know with the market. So this can go on for another 10, 20, 30 years just because they have the willpower and they don't rely on other factors like US or Europe is doing it. United States, under Obama, this was a little bit more of a concern. Under Trump, AI lost its focus. However, I read now more papers from intellectuals, from NGOs, from all kinds of opinion leaders in the United States that they have to reconsider AI. Why? Well, AI is the most important technology of the 21st century. We speak about defense, security, healthcare, increase of wealth, happiness, so many factors. So if we do not consider AI as important, we lose the race. And especially the leading companies, they already get this. They know this. And especially the military in the United States is pushing for AI. They put a lot of money into this, so this won't go away. We also see this in Europe. France wants to do under Macron a lot of more AI. Germany is now considering to do this. They will do something in the next 2 to 5 years. UK under Brexit has already deployed another 500 million just to invest into AI and research. So governments are now starting to invest, and when they start now to invest, means the money will flow in the next couple of years, which will provide more money to research, more money for VCs and startups, also more incentives for companies to start with AI. So even the trend is a little bit going down, the push from governments will lift it up. So I personally believe the next 10 years they will be about AI. We maybe will not call it AI anymore. We'll call it bot, software, an algorithm and so forth. So the term, what we define as AI, might change. However, this won't go away. It won't go away. It will be bigger and bigger and bigger. We're just at the beginning. There will be some waves, but overall the trend will go like this. We're just at the beginning. Just compare what we solved with software in contrast to 10 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, when it didn't even exist. So we are in a huge exponential growth of technology, digitalization, and AI is just the top of the iceberg. It will increase it even more, it will accelerate it even more. So if you're already in the AI space, hey, right choice, stay with it. Stay with it for the next decades, it will be a great time. If you're not in the AI space, at least stay tuned, watch my videos, increase your interest and maybe find a way to be involved in this too. Because there will be nothing without AI in future.